Welcome to MEDTV.
I'm Jessica. And I'm Marlene. Magandang buhay. And last but not the least,
Hi, I'm Luis Manzano, napagod. But, kidding aside,
and now, let's introduce the people on the other side.
Yes, of course. I'm Harry and I'm D, not C, but D. Back to you guys.
Pandemic really changed a lot, from traditional learning to new normal.
But it did not stop us to learn new things and lessons, right?
Exactly.
so for today's episode, we will present the different lessons from medical's office. So
Let's get started!
Module 2. We all know that human organism consists of several organs, which includes a set of interrelated organs that work together to provide specialized functions. But what are those systems? First, we have the nervous system. The nervous system consists of the brain, spinal cord, nerves, and sense organs. The three general functions of the nervous systems are receiving, deciding, and reacting to stimuli, and also termed sensory, integrative, and motor. Next, we have the endocrine system includes all the glands that secrete chemical messengers called hormones, and also integumentary system include the skin and accessory organs such as the hair, nail, sweat glands, and sebaceous glands. And lastly, the skeletal system consists of the bones as well as the ligaments and cartilages that bind bones together at joints. Now, let's talk about systems involved maintenance and continuity of Module 2. First, the cardiovascular system is the transport system of the body by which food, oxygen, water, and all other essentials are carried to the tissue cells and their waste products are carried away. It consists of three parts: the blood, the heart, and blood vessels. Next, the lymphatic system is a network of tissues, organs, and vessels that help to maintain the body's fluid balance and protect it from pathogens. The respiratory system is an intricate arrangement of spaces and passageways that conduct air into the lungs. Every body cell needs a constant supply of nutrients to provide energy and building blocks for the manufacture of the substances. This process is known as digestion. After digestion, food must be carried to the cells in every part of the body by the circulation. The transfer of food into the circulation is called absorption. Digestion and absorption are the two chief functions of the digestive system. Next is the urinary system, is also called the excretory system of the body because one of its functions is to remove waste products from the blood and eliminate them from the body. This system consists of two kidneys and two ureters. Last is the male and female reproductive systems are connected set of organs and glands. Some of the reproductive organs and glands secrete hormones vital to the development and maintenance of secondary sex characteristics and the regulation of reproductive functions. I hope you learned something about what I have discussed in Module 1 and 2. Keep listening and keep learning to next speakers. Enjoy!
Good day everyone, I am Neil Christian and I will give you some information regarding about medical office procedure subject. When you decided to take Bachelor of Science in Office Administration, it is required to take the subject. The most thrilling moment for me is to understand medical terms, and as a future medical assistant, you must knowledgeable about it. Let me give you some example in medical terminologies. In the part of nervous system, anatomy, we have the following: encephalo, brain; Myelo, spinal cord; cerebello, means cerebellum; fronto, frontal lobe; temporo, temporal lobe; occipito, occipital lobe; parieto, means parietal lobe; and polio, gray matter.
Good afternoon to everyone. I'm Maribik S. Montaño from Bachelor of Science in Office Administration. Today, I will be presenting the medical secretary's duties and medical ethics. When you say a medical secretary or medical administrative assistant, they are duty responsible for handling a clerical task at a hospital or clinic, and also accepting call from patient, answering the question, coordinating patient appointment based on the doctor availability. In this role, you will be responsible for the schedule appointment, prepare patient chart, and maintain physician schedule according to the physician structure in accordance with office protocol. Medical ethics, it should be involves examining a specific problem, usually a clinical case, and using facts and logic to decide what the best of action should be. Find some knowledge of the fundamental of anatomy and psychology indispensable. The following below are the brief description of some of the most important divisions of the medical practice given to serve as a guide for a beginning medical secretary. These are internal medicine, surgery, cardiology, dermatology, endocrinology, gastroenterology, gynecology, obstetric, neurology, ophthalmology, orthopedics, otology, rhinology, and laryngology. Pediatrics, psychiatry, rheology, and the last is urology. These are the list and familiarity with the terms particular to the doctor, specialty, instrument in use and will encounter greatly facilitate the performance. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my topic is all about the dentist secretary. The dental secretary makes appointment, keeps the patient records, takes dictation, discusses fees, payment collection, other order supplies, and attend to the dentist correspondence. Above all, she is the dentist public relation agent who creates goodwill and a friendly atmosphere in the office. In the dental secretary, we have a 5 characteristic. First is excellent organizational skills. The excellent organizational skills in the dentist office is a fast-paced and ever-changing, so as a dental assistant, you need to be prepared for anything. And the second is detail-oriented personality. Attention to detail is an important trait when one of your primary job responsibilities is to ensure patient and safety comfort in the office. Number 3, ability to manage multiple things at once. As a dental assistant, your day-to-day responsibilities to run medicine, you have to balance all your duties in a smooth and effortless manner. Number 4 is a professional demeanor. Dental assistants play an important role in patient satisfaction. You'll often be the first and last person a patient interact with The way you act, present yourself will reflect. On the practice as a whole, what does it mean to be a professional? The meaning of being a professional is coming into work on time, always dressing appropriately, taking your work seriously, and have a good attitude. We have the last characteristic of a dental secretary. It is the strong communication skills. Great communication is important in any workplace, but especially in a dental office environment. In order for the day to run smoothly and on schedule, you need to be constant communication with the rest of the team. And also, we have the duties and responsibility of a dental secretary. The dental secretaries handle clerical and administrative tasks in a dental office, such as taking phone calls, scheduling appointment, greetings patient, collecting data, answering to the other inquiries, and preparing invoice. And the last is we have the important things being a dental secretary. A dental assisting is a challenging and rewarding career demanding versatility and willingness to assume responsibility for many different tasks. So if a dental secretary, so we need to take the responsibilities, the characteristic in a positively. And thank you.
Hello and good day to all of you. My name is Jonathan Decimo and I will be your presenter for the topic of Module 7 that is about personal qualifications, specialized knowledge, and professional conduct. First things first, let us start by discussing what are medical secretaries or medical administrative assistants and what do they do. Medical secretary is the right hand of the physician and she is also the one who is responsible for the clerical works in the medical office such as scheduling a patient, management of medical records, and transcribing medical dictations. If you are an aspiring medical secretary, these are some of the qualifications that you should possess in order to be an effective medical secretary. Be kind and sympathetic towards everyone. Show people how you care by doing some little act of kindness. Being kind does not cost a thing. Be accurate and dependable with everything you do. Now that you are required to do a certain job without the doctor's instruction, you are expected to do your job well, and you should always remember that you are dependable enough for the doctor to trust you. Punctuality can also be applied with how fast a certain task can be done, not just with how punctual you are when it comes to attending your job. Thoroughness. Pay attention to every detail and be meticulous. And lastly, tact. It is the ability to act effectively when you are dealing with difficult people or difficult situations. If you caught yourself in one difficult situation, keep in mind that you should always be respectful anyway. Now let us move to another part of the topic where I will be going to list 5 skills and specialized knowledge requirements of a medical secretary. Just like the doctor, a medical secretary should also have a wide knowledge and medical knowledge. Has the ability to handle secretarial tasks such as bookkeeping, answering telephone calls, and documenting files. Knows how to assist a patient properly, can understand and use medical terminologies, and lastly, a medical secretary must know how to use or at least familiar in medical and office equipments. Now that we have come to the final part of the topic where I will be going to discuss the professional conduct of a medical secretary in order to maintain your professionalism at work, these are some of the actions that you should consider. Smoking. If you happen to have a sudden interest with smoking while working, don't do it in your office hours and be patient enough to wait for the break where you can finally have a smoke inside the restroom. Personal telephone call. Keep your personal telephone calls in minimum length and number. Serenity. A medical secretary should always consider that she can't be relaxed as long as she is still in her working hour. Common sense. A medical secretary should know what to do when she encounters a patient that is in need of urgent aid without waiting for the doctor to arrive. Familiarity. A doctor should always be addressed with doctor along with his last name, and so is the doctor to his secretary by calling her secretary in her last name. Accepting criticism. Being able to take criticism and learning from it is a way to improve your work because you can't always convince the doctor that you did your job right. Professional secrecy. None of the information about patient's case should come out, and it should only remain between the doctor and secretary.
Good day, everyone. I am Cherilyn Yunor, and for today's topic, I will going to discuss the Module 8. Module 8 is all about how medical secretary deals or meeting with the doctor's patient. It has three topics. First is the basic rules and courtesy in handling telephone calls and messages. Second is the importance of appointment book in meeting the patient. And the last one is the proper etiquette in meeting and dealing with the doctor's patients. In the first topic, we can learn and discuss how medical secretary communicate through the telephone calls and messages. There are three basic rules for handling telephone calls. First is the medical secretary should speak with his voice and smile. Second is medical secretary should check if the patient name has been correctly spelled. Third, medical secretary should write down the message at once. To execute those three basic rules, medical secretary may consider to speak clearly and use pleasant voice, address patient properly, listen to the patient, and prepare the message slip that include date and time, name and address of the caller, telephone number, message in detail, and remarks by secretary. Through those basic rules, medical secretary can avoid any misunderstanding with the patients. Now, let's proceed to the second topic, which is the importance of appointment book in meeting the patient. So, what is appointment book? Appointment book is a calendar which medical secretary can view the daily time schedule of the doctors with the patients. It is also usually serves as a record from which the number of visits is taken when bills are made out. The importance of appointment book are it can increase productivity in hospital or clinic, decrease medical secretary's work, and can build a good relation with the patient. It is also important to keep permanently because it can serve as acceptable record for income tax purposes. So now we are in the last topic, which is the proper etiquette in meeting and dealing with the doctor's patients. Secretary, receptionist, or medical secretary is the first person that patients will be meet coming to the doctor's office. And as a secretary, you or we should know how to deal with a doctor's patients properly. Here are some ways to execute it. First, welcome the patient and make them feel at home. Second, always use pleasant voice and smile. Third, introduce your name. Fourth, ask the patient name. Fifth, know the name of the person whom the patient has been referred if applicable. And if ever you will encounter difficult patient, try your best to solve the problem. Listen, remain calm, always present a helpful, positive, and sincere attitude.
Medical record is a permanent document giving a complete account and details of a person's illnesses or inquiries and the service rendered by medical professionals. It is important that all medical records should be accurate and substantial. It serves as reference that aids the physicians with diagnosis and treatment, while medical reports pertains to the tests and examinations that are kept in the patient's file folder. It is important for the doctor and medical establishment to properly maintain the records of the patient for two important reasons. First one is that it helps in proper evaluation of the patient, and lastly, to plan treatment protocol. The art of filing is a well-planned system contributes significantly to the efficiency of operations as well as to the company's image. Whether records are filed in a computer or in a steel cabinet, they have to be readily accessible. That is, proximity and accessibility should be observed by the secretary. It is very important to store and preserve records and documents. It is needed for the protection and to provide reference and to increase working efficiency also. There are five principal filing systems, and these are: first one is a alphabetic filing, a system of filing where documents group together by letter from A to Z. Second one, numeric filing, a system of filing in which documents are pre-numbered to distinguish them from each other. Next is a geographic filing. Systems operate generally by country and then alphabetically, or numerically by account name or number. Subject filing. This is arranging of material by subject. And lastly, chronological filing, which is a system of filing in order of time. And that is how medical records and the art of filing work in a medical office.
What's up, guys? Are you enjoying yourself while watching our episode for today? Stand by, cause we're offering you more.
Correct! Huwag na natin patagalin pa dahil wala na akong English. Now, let's continue the module. Okay.
Good day, I'm Rachel Orcel and I will going to discuss the Module 11. Module 11 is all about typing documents needed in the medical office. In first topic, we can learn the general guide in typing documents. 1. Use single space. 2. Set the margin stop for 2-inch type margins. 3. The holder of the doctor's degree is addressed as doctor. The second topic is the relevance of having a good communication skill to secretaryship and construct a well-structured and formatted documents used in medical office. It is important that a prospective medical secretary should be meaningfully oriented with the proper know-how on the basic of typing documents such as letters and files used for communication. There are some of things a secretary should take into consideration when composing a letter. First, letter style and punctuation. The two most common letter style are block style, requires all lines of the text to start at the left-hand margin, and the block style in which the dates and closing lines begin as the center of the intended 5 spaces. Second, the date. Current date must be included in the letter and make sure the year is correct. Third, the titles and salutation is a greeting used in letter. The form of salutation in English letter is there followed by the recipient's given name or title if you know, such as Mrs., Mr., and Doctor. The receiver of salutation is being acknowledged, respected, and thanked. Fourth, the body of letter is made of your letter for block and modify block letter formats. Single space and left justify each paragraph. Be sure to leave a blank line between each paragraph. Fifth, the closing and signature. Concluding greetings in called the complimentary closing. Use sincerely or sincerely yours, but kindly note the comma at the end of the greetings and also type your name below your signature, or commonly this is referred as affix signature or over your printed name. And lastly, the appearance of letter. This is very important if you take into consideration the appearance of your letter, the stationery format, and length of the envelope your reader will be drawn in. When you dispatching letter, mail, there are the secretary duties. First, fold each letter to the size of envelope. Make sure that the right letter goes into the right envelope. Sealing and stamping, and affix airmail or special delivery stickers.
Hi, my name is Rosalie Mariano from Section 7. My topic is all about automation. Automation is the application of technology, programs, robotics, or processes to achieve outcomes with minimal human output. That is, electronic devices are also used to speed up clinical procedures and obtain accurate results from them. Also, it is a technique of making an apparatus, a process, or a system operate automatically. There are several softwares programs that are used in a doctor's office. The first is the IDX, the STARS, the MEDTV, and lastly the e-prescriber. What is the IDX? IDX, or the intact deletion and extraction, is the primary software utilized in the office. This web-based program is used to schedule appointments, register patients, create schedules, review patients' insurance information, and also to process billing. Next is the STARS. What is the STARS? The STARS is a referral system. Any and all referrals for those insurances are processed via this system. The next is the MEDTV. What is the MEDTV? MEDTV is an old form of email for the hospital. Instead of email, they send maxes. This system is also used to up-to-the-minute information on patients that are seen in the emergency room and walk-in clinic, as well as any procedures that they have done at the hospital. Lastly is the e-prescriber. What is the e-prescriber? ePrescriber is a web-based system that was created by the company Zip Corp. At its launch, the company tapped into IDX system and downloaded all their patients' information into their system, like address, phone, numbers, insurance, etc. Everything for existing patient was transferred to their website. So, without these communication devices, the offices would have a very difficult time sharing patients' related information. Much more time would be spent on the phone requesting data, and having to have things mailed instead of faxed would cause a big delay in treatment. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am J. Angelami Bernas, and for today's topic, I am going to discuss to you about Module 15 entitled Dictation and Transcription. First, I am going to identify what is the meaning of dictation. So, according to Cambridge Dictionary, dictation is the activity of dictating something for someone else to write. In medical office, dictation is the activity of dictating medical report, for instance by a doctor, to be written down by the medical secretary. So as a secretary, it is most important for us to listen carefully when there is someone dictating an important messages in front of us. There is also a way on how the secretary record the messages from the speaker. These tools are first, dictation machine. A dictation machine is a sound recording device most commonly used to record speech for later playback or to be typed into print. It includes the digital voice recorders and tape recorders. These tools can help the secretary to remember the messages from the speakers. Another term is transcription. Transcription is the process in which speech or audio is converted into a written document. Medical transcriptions or MT is an allied health professions dealing with the process of transcribing voice-recorded medical reports that are dictated by the physicians, nurses, and other healthcare practitioners. So just like dictation, transcription also use machines to convert the audio into written report. Transcription machine is a special purpose machine which is used for word or voice processing. This special device manages audio-video recording to transcribe them into a written or hard copy form. So, transcription machine are combination of transcribers and dictation machines. For the generalization for this lesson, we can learn on how to transcribe a recorded audio into a written reports, and also it can teach us to listen carefully to the speaker every time they speak in front. That's all. Thank you.
Everyone, I'm Clarence Mateos Lorenzo from Bachelor of Science in Office Administration, here to talk about machine and equipment, medical supplies, accessories, and instruments. Did you know all about them? If you don't, please watch my video for more information. I will talk about the basic medical supplies accessories first. First is the first aid kit for minor injuries, stethoscope and blood pressure monitor for blood and heart monitoring. Oxygen mask, used when the body is not able to gain enough oxygen by breathing air, for example at high altitudes. or because of medical conditions. Antiseptics are antimicrobial substances that are applied to living tissue, skincare, to reduce the possibility of an infection. There is the medical equipment all hospitals needs. Number one is the hospital stretchers. For transporting patients is very important when dealing with emergencies. This piece of equipment is an absolute must-have for hospitals to keep on hand as a patient route through their care. Defibrillators, commonly used in life-threatening situations such as cardiac defibrillators, restore normal rhythm to the heart. They are essential tools that a hospital always needed backups for. 3 is the anesthesia machines. Anesthesia machines are designed to provide an accurate and continuous supply of medical gases to maintain a proper level of anesthesia to patients. Number 4 is the patient's monitors. Patient's monitors are standard pieces of medical equipment that keep accurate track of a patient's conditions and states of health during and after surgery. 5 is the sterilizers. Hospital sterilizers kills all forms of microbial life, including fungi, bacteria, viruses, spores, and all other entities present on surgical tools and other medical items. EKG or ECG machines. The electrocardiogram machines record the electrical activity of the heart over a period of time and allow health care providers to monitor the overall rhythm of the heart and identify any abnormalities. 7. Surgical tables. Surgical tables are a necessity for any hospitals for patients preparations. Surgical procedures and recovery. This piece of equipment are essentials. 8 is the blanket and fluid warmers. Body temperatures that are not maintained during surgery can lead to post-surgical complications such as hypothermia, prolonged hospitalizations and recovery, and an increase in the risk of for any infections. That's why blanket warmers are so essential for hospitals to have. 9 is the electrosurgical units. An electrosurgical unit is used in surgery to cut off and to limit the amount of blood flow to an area and increase visibility during a surgery. This equipment is crucial to minimizing blood loss during surgery. And the last is the surgical lights. Surgical lights are a mandatory part of any surgical settings to help surgeons work under adequate lighting conditions. That's all. Thank you.
So that's it, guys. I hope you're having fun watching our episode for today. I'm expecting that you've learned a lot on this episode. How about you, Luis? What can you say about it?
One, go. That's right, Harry. We were wishing that the guys understand it well enough to know how much it means.